Good morning, how you doing? I'm Yalik, and I'm clearing my map. I've had a pretty good morning. Was that a fail? No, that was just GBE test. Yeah, so I've had a pretty good morning here, despite nasty tribes, and I'm unboosted because this is just map clear. It's not uptime. I do have somebody who's probably going to want uptime later. We've got him marked down here with a good amount of boost going on there. Anyway, I just beat this fellow Henry, or actually it's Hendry, and I'm going to add this to my Boom Fails series because I don't know what this guy is thinking. So the thing here, check this out. Look at this. That is, if you are counting, obviously he has the 3 offensive statues, so that leaves 7 blue statues. 6 of them are health. The first 6 in that row are health. There's 1 damage at the back of that line. And the health masterpiece, as you can see, is boosted. That's quite a bit of ice. And yet, look at his base. He has no shield. And as soon as I saw my first thought when I opened this up to scout it was going to be warrior, because no shield, warrior. And then I saw this. I went to check what he had for ice going on. That was not going to be warrior. With all of the health he's got going on, plus the headquarters health tribe this cycle, I think his HQ was north of 500,000 K in health. So there's no way my unboosted warriors were going to be able to do that much damage. But that's okay, because when there is no shield in play, sometimes even when there is a shield, your Zookas will not care. But when there is no shield in play, your Zookas do not care about all of these. They really don't. So you just have to figure out how to buy them the time to sit there and shoot. And I want to say this probably takes all of 10 seconds. So I need to be able to buy 10 seconds of time to shoot at this HQ. And that's it. And this guy is just wasting his time with all that ice. He could be having way more fun with a bunch of offensive statues, because this base, as you can see, first try right off the bat, it's just stupidly easy. So we are going to use Heavy Zooka, 2/6 Heavy Zooka, because it's the best combination in the game. If you have, well, it's just hands down, it's the best overall combination in the game. So I did choose to use Bullet here because I wanted to occupy all of these things behind the HQ. Again, just worried about buying some time. I did minimal mine clearance, and that was just the shock mines up front. Decided to go with the longer flare, didn't do a midway flare or anything, because that will keep the troops moving, and so we won't, the heavies will go ahead and clear everything out front of you, and also the Zookas won't stop and group up. Like, say if you tried to stop and group up right here between those towers, your Zookas are going to spread and you're liable to hit the mines that are behind these buildings. So just went with the long flare straight to the back of the base, and sort of got to the spot, and then once everybody's there you can reflare, get your positioning. Obviously we've got taunt going on, and I threw some critters to keep Bullet from being chain shocked, just trying to buy him a little bit of time too, and boom, there we go. This rocket shocks to the sides. I wasn't quite sure what was going to be taunted and what wasn't, because depending on where Bullet stands, like all of that could be taunted if he's standing right next to that flamethrower or not. As it happened, he stood right next to this one, making this shock over here unnecessary, but you know. Anyway, just to be cautious. So the rocket over here had just turned and clipped a bunch of my Zookas, but that really doesn't matter because we still had a ton of Zookas left. Blah blah blah, and GBE for more things, taunts or whatever. So let's see, lost. Yeah, still had over 30 Zookas left there. Lost all the heavies. Nobody cares. They're heavies. That's what they're for. Yeah. Oh, I never understand why you would have an ice base and no shield. I can understand why you would be an offensive player and sometimes have a shield. I sometimes do, just to try to make life a little harder for people. Occasionally I'll get a defend that way, usually with someone who's trying to attack me with warriors. That's my base is set up to trick people with tanks. Got the hidden Doom Cannon or sometimes Grappler over there, and it is hilarious when somebody it's hidden back there, and I put an extra Boom Cannon out over to this side. So the natural tendency is people look at this base, they see I have no ice, and the tank players will drop left because they want to avoid that extra Boom Cannon. This one right here. So they start to go that way, and then they realize that something's wrong and they're losing tanks, and then they retreat. So I get a little bit of intel that way. That's it. I can understand being an offensive player and doing stuff like that. So sometimes to slow down the warrior rushes, I'll throw out a shield. Don't have to have it, and ultimately most people are going to beat me anyway. Like 90% of the time I'm going to lose. I don't care, so whatever. But if you do have ice, obviously you do care, so why wouldn't you have a shield whenever possible? And if you have that much ice, I would expect a shield all the time. And, you know, they're there. Maybe he didn't have prototype parts? Actually, I want to look at that one more time, because he did have the blaster. Had to take note of that because of bullet. Yeah, just the blaster. No other prototypes. Maybe he's low on parts. I don't know. Anyway, one way or another, it's a horrible idea. It's, you know, nothing against the base design one way or another, but there's an obvious flaw. And, you know, I took advantage. Anyway, that's what I have for you this morning. Thumbs up, all that stuff, and I'll catch you later.